Hey, good Monday morning. Welcome back into Morning Scone. Glad to have you aboard with us as we start this week. A lot I want to get to. I'll remind you though, like, share, thumbs up, thumbs down, comments, always appreciated. Subscribe to the channel. That helps me a bunch to raise all those metrics and everything. So please do that. It's all about optimization on YouTube and everything like that. So in any way that you can interact with this post, I'd really appreciate it. So a lot I want to get to here on this Monday morning. I want to start with Patrick Reed because yesterday was one of the more perplexing things watching. And don't misunderstand me. I'm not the guy that's going to break down golf. I like to play golf. I like to watch golf. I like to watch the majors. But I'm not going to sit here and break down which club he should use on what hole and if he should have gone for it on a par five. It's just, I'll watch. I don't know the strategy therein well enough to comment like that. But I do find it very interesting what happened yesterday because I've watched the Masters my whole life. And typically you have very supportive galleries. And galleries that raucously cheer for the leader as he walks up to the green at 18. Or I have this vision in my mind burned of Phil Mickelson winning his first major championship at the Masters and leaping into the air, and the wide shot that had the gallery had just hundreds of thousands of arms in the air, everyone just like with the same elation that Phil had. That didn't really happen yesterday at Augusta for Patrick Reed. If you go back and watch the CBS shot, the slow-mo shot of Patrick Reed making the putt, the wide shot, so you can see the gallery as well, you'll see some arms raised and cheer. You'll see some faces with the, oh crap, he made it, look. You'll see some polite applause, but it certainly was not unanimous. And it's evident that the galleries were cheering for Jordan Spieth, and then when Ricky Fowler birdied 18, they went bonkers because it felt like it was almost an anyone but Reed type thing. And so people start on Twitter, especially people who aren't golf fans who don't know the history there, who start off with why are people against Patrick Reed? Well, he's got the reputation of sort of the antagonist, right? He's the villain in golf. And you go back and everyone starts linking me the story from like For the Win from USA Today and all these different spots of how, well, he didn't get along with his teammates at Augusta State. And he got kicked out of Georgia and he had some drinking problems when he was in college. And then, on the tour, he shushed fans at the Ryder Cup. He when he was 23 made the proclamation that he was a top 5 player in the world. And to me, that's just so pretentious of golf fans in general to levy that type of criticism on a guy. Because basically what you said was, okay, well, in college, he probably drank too much and didn't get along with his teammates. He gave an interview where he wasn't afraid to say he felt he was a really good golfer. And basically, when he was at the Ryder Cup, he shushed fans. Oh, and he curses on the course. Like every single golfer at his municipal course does every single weekend when he's out there. I mean, it's always funny to me how we hold certain athletes to different standards. And anyone that's criticizing Patrick Reed for any of those things, I'll flatly call you a hypocrite because whoever your favorite team is, I guarantee you, I could run down a litany of people, just like you described, that you've cheered for in the past. So, and to take it a step further, how you never really know what people are dealing with is something that had been kind of, people had talked about a little bit. It was public, but golf.com wrote a really extensive feature piece on Patrick Reed after he won the Masters and really just about his personal life. And for those that don't know, Patrick Reed is estranged from his family, from his mother, his father, and his sister. And it's kind of a perplexing story. You don't really know who to believe. There's conflicting sides where, Patrick Reed's wife says that, and they said publicly on social media, different outlets, that Patrick was abused emotionally and physically by his parents. They completely deny that. Patrick Reed's sister, who goes to Ole Miss, has been vocal about it. Like, I know what everybody else has read. I met Patrick Reed one time when he was in high school, and I would not even begin to claim that I know him or we had anything sort of a profound conversation. But my point is, you never really know what people are dealing with, and on top of that, of having that issue in his personal life with his family, there was the situation several years back where his wife almost died. She had a seizure, and he had to save her. She was in the bathtub, had to rescue her and perform the Heimlich maneuver, and paramedics came in there, but said she was seconds away from dying. Point is, you never know what life experiences tend to shape people, and sometimes that can lend you perspective. And I feel like that's the case with Patrick Reed, man. And I'm not saying he's a great guy and he's a model citizen, and he's the everybody's all American type golfer and boy that everybody wants to grow up to be. But my point is, sometimes situations shape who we are. Well, our situations in life can shape who we are for one reason or another. And as a younger person, Patrick Reed had some problems, and maybe that's all reflected from his family life. Maybe not. Who knows? But I'm not going to judge the guy. What I know is he's a really good golfer. He played golf in Baton Rouge. He has deep ties to this city that I call home, and I always cheer for local guys. So I wanted Patrick Reed to win yesterday. I was ecstatic that he won yesterday, and my hope is that golf fans can understand, accept, and appreciate how good he was yesterday, and maybe appreciate a bit more that moment. A little sad for Patrick that he didn't get the raucous cheers, and certainly he knew it. But I guess if you're going to play the role of the villain, at times you know that if you're going to be the antagonist, if you're going to be the villain, like, you're going to deal with that. You're going to deal with jeers and not being a popular player. But I was happy for Patrick Reed. I was happy for everybody that knew him in Baton Rouge. I was happy to see him go claim that green jacket and emerge as certainly one of the world's best, that he had already proven that he was. So good for you, Patrick Reed. Congrats on your Masters win. A couple other things to talk about. We did talk yesterday about LSU baseball dropping 2 out of 3 from Texas A&M. Disappointing, but not devastating. Disappointing in that going into the season, you didn't think, like if you were just circling series you thought LSU could win, at A&M wasn't one that you thought they could win. But A&M had struggled a bit. They were 3-6 in the conference coming into the weekend. You go out and you get this masterful performance from Zach Hess on Thursday, and you're feeling like, man, just go split the next 2 and you get a road series win. And of course, it didn't work out. So this weekend, you're going to hear me say this a lot this week. This weekend with Tennessee coming in is massive. Tennessee's not very good. Tennessee overall they're tied for last with South Carolina and Kentucky in the East. Goes to show you how deep the East is right now, because Kentucky's a really good team, but they're 5-7 right now, 22-10 overall, 5-7 in the conference. But a lot of that schedule. So Tennessee's at 5-7 as well. They actually managed to steal a game from Florida this weekend in Knoxville. So big opportunity for LSU. They're going to have to get a sweep somewhere along the way. If Florida couldn't sweep Tennessee, it's hard to believe that LSU is going to sweep Tennessee. But this is one of those series where you have an opportunity. So let's see if they can go get it done. As tough as things have been, despite losing your starting shortstop, your starting second baseman, of course, Eric Walker's done for the year. Now it looks like Bryce Jordan is going to be done, although we're waiting on that word. And all the other injuries that they've dealt with at different times. LSU's still all alone in third place in the SEC West, behind Arkansas, which I think is going to win the division with ease, Ole Miss, and then LSU. So you're a game out of second and 2 games out of first, and you play both of the teams ahead of you still. The Arkansas series in Baton Rouge, the Ole Miss series is in Oxford. So LSU, for everyone who's wondering about the team, and if they can still make a run, oh yeah, it's still very much there. You've got a sweepable series against Tennessee and Alabama. You've got a winnable road series at South Carolina, and with the 2 that I mentioned already with Arkansas and Ole Miss, you've got opportunities. So and then you've got the Auburn to wrap up the regular season, which looks more and more like it's Casey Mize, and then sort of the rest of the team, which isn't very good right now. So nonetheless, they've got great opportunities. LSU does. They just got to get healthy, which they might get Josh Smith back this week, and at some point they're going to get Brant Broussard back also. You get healthy, you make a run, and we'll see what happens. It seems like this is what LSU does every single year, even when they're slow at the gate. Maneri just tinkers, he gets the right mix, and they're cruising by the time they get to the end of April and into May. The question this year is just, have the injuries been too significant to overcome? But getting Smith and Broussard back will help. And then lastly, Pels, they can clinch with a win. So they play the Clippers, and Clippers are officially eliminated. Pels are 6.5 road favorite against the Clips with 2 to go. Clippers and then San Antonio to wrap up the regular season. And I'll hold my boasting until they beat the Clippers and then San Antonio, because when the Pels had the 4-game losing streak, my take was, hey, look at what's ahead. Like, it wasn't surprising that they lost any of the games they did. I said, look at what's ahead. They're all winnable, even Golden State, who will have clinched the 2, won't have Steph, and will probably just be mailing it in to the end of the regular season. So they've got a great shot to solidify. They're the 5 seed already. They got a great shot to solidify the 5, and then potentially even jump up into the 4 with a little help and a couple of wins. So we'll keep an eye on the Pels too. But it looks like the Pels are going to go to the playoffs, which is awesome and really exciting this time of year. All right, y'all, that's going to do it for this Monday morning edition of Breakfast Scone. Please share it, retweet it, like it, tell a friend, subscribe to the channel, and anything that you want to see, please, feedback is very, very much welcomed. How I can make this better and things you might want to hear, or formatics or anything like that, please let me know. If you want me to do Q&As, mailbags, stuff like that, any ideas for stuff like that, I'm happy to do it. So if you got ideas or suggestions, as always, shoot me a message. I'll respond to comments below, or you can always email me, matt@1045espn.com, or any of the social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, I'm all there. So in the meantime, have a great week, and we'll talk to you again tomorrow morning for Morning Scone.